Dr. Lisa Morgan looked out the window of the space station. Stars filled the darkness like tiny diamonds. She had dreamed of this day since she was a little girl. Today, humans would meet aliens for the first time. The space station, Kepler 7, floated quietly between Earth and the alien homeworld. It was built just for this meeting. Lisa touched the glass and smiled. After years of radio messages back and forth, they were finally going to meet face to face. "Dr. Morgan, they're coming," said Captain Jake Sullivan. He walked up behind her, his boots making soft sounds on the metal floor. Jake was a good captain. He kept everyone calm when things got scary. Lisa turned around. "How do I look?" she asked. She wore her best blue uniform with all her science badges on it. "You look fine," Jake said. "Remember, just be yourself. These Zephyrians seem nice from all our talks." Lisa nodded. The Zephyrians had been talking to Earth for 2 years. They seemed peaceful and smart. Their messages were always polite and careful. They talked about beauty and grace a lot. Lisa thought they sounded like nice people, even if they weren't really people. Amy Foster ran up to them. She was the engineer, who helped build the meeting room. "Captain, everything is ready. The air is perfect for both humans and Zephyrians. The food is set up. The cameras are working." "Good job, Amy," Jake said. "Dr. Clark, are you ready too?" Dr. Ryan Clark walked over with his medical bag. "All set, Captain. I have medicine ready just in case anyone gets sick, though I don't think we'll need it." Lisa looked at her team. They had worked so hard for this day. She felt proud and scared at the same time. What if something went wrong? What if the aliens didn't like humans? What if they said something stupid? "Here they come," Amy said, pointing out the window. A beautiful silver ship moved toward the station. It was long and curved like a swan's neck. Soft blue lights blinked along its sides. The ship moved so smoothly it looked like it was dancing. Through space. "Wow," Ryan said. "That's the most beautiful ship I've ever seen." The ship docked with a soft bump. Red lights turned green, which meant it was safe to open the doors. Lisa's heart beat fast. Her hands felt sweaty. "Remember," Jake said to everyone, "be polite. Bow when they bow. Smile when they smile. Don't touch them unless they touch you first." The doors opened with a soft hiss. Bright white light came from the alien ship. Then the most beautiful creatures Lisa had ever seen walked through the door. The Zephyrians looked like tall, thin humans, but not quite. Their skin was pale blue like winter ice. Their hair was long and white like clouds. They moved like dancers, every step perfect and smooth. Their clothes were made of something that looked like liquid silver. The first alien was the most beautiful of all. She wore a crown made of what looked like starlight. Her eyes were big and silver. When she walked, she seemed to float above the ground. "I am Ambassador Veltara Moonwhisper," she said in perfect English. Her voice sounded like music. "I speak for the Zephyrian Empire. We are happy to meet the humans at last." Lisa stepped forward and bowed like they had practiced. "I am Dr. Lisa Morgan. Welcome to our space station. We are so happy you came." The ambassador smiled. Her smile was like sunshine. "Your station is very nice. We hope this is the start of good friendship between our people." More Zephyrians came through the door. They all moved the same way, like they were dancing to music only they could hear. Lisa watched them with wonder. They were so graceful. Every movement was perfect. "Please come to our dining room," Jake said. "We made food for you." The ambassador nodded. "That is very kind. We brought gifts from our world to share." They all walked to the big dining room in the center of the station. Amy had worked for weeks to make it perfect. Round tables were set, up with white cloths. Flowers from Earth sat in the middle of each table. The lights were soft and warm. The humans had worked hard on the food. They made dishes from many countries on Earth. There was bread and fruit and vegetables. In the center was a big bowl of fruit punch that Amy had made herself. It was red and sweet and smelled like berries. "This looks wonderful," said the ambassador. She moved to her chair like she was floating. The other Zephyrians did the same. Lisa sat across from the ambassador. Up close, she could see that the alien's skin had tiny sparkles in it like glitter. Her eyes changed color from silver to blue to purple. "Tell me about your world," Lisa said. "What is it like?" "Our world is a place of great beauty," the ambassador said. "We have tall crystal cities that sing in the wind. We have forests where the trees dance. Everything moves in perfect harmony." "That sounds amazing," Lisa said. She poured some punch into the ambassador's cup. "Please try this. It's made from earth fruits." The ambassador picked up the cup with both hands. She smelled it first, then took a small sip. Her eyes went wide. "This is very good, sweet and light." Lisa smiled. The punch had been Amy's idea. She had picked the best fruits and mixed them just right. It tasted like summer. They ate and talked for an hour. The Zephyrians told stories about their world. The humans told stories about Earth. Everyone was laughing and having a good time. Lisa thought the meeting was going perfectly. Then something strange happened. Ambassador Veltara was reaching for more punch when she suddenly stopped. She blinked her silver eyes several times. She shook her head like she was confused. "Are you okay?" Lisa asked. The ambassador tried to stand up, but her legs seemed wobbly. She held onto the table with both hands. "I feel strange," she said. Her voice sounded different, less musical. She tried to take a step, but almost fell down. One of the other Zephyrians caught her arm. "Ambassador?" the alien said, worry in his voice. Veltara looked at Lisa with wide, scared eyes. She pointed a shaking finger at the humans. "I can't walk straight," she said, her voice getting louder. "What did you do to me?" The room went quiet. All the Zephyrians stared at the humans. Their beautiful faces looked angry and scared. "I can't feel my feet," the ambassador said. She tried to walk again, but stumbled. "My head is spinning. You poisoned me." The Zephyrian guards moved fast. They pulled out weapons that glowed blue. They pointed them at Jake and his team. "What did you put in that drink?" one guard shouted. Lisa's heart jumped into her throat. This was going very, very wrong. Captain Jake Sullivan raised his hands slowly. The blue weapons pointed at him looked very dangerous. "Please, we didn't poison anyone," he said in a calm voice. "Let us help your ambassador." "Stay back," shouted the Zephyrian guard. His name was Kesserin Starfall, and he was the head of security. His silver eyes were full of anger. "You have attacked our ambassador. This is an act of war." Ambassador Veltara was getting worse. She could barely stand up now. 2 guards held her arms to keep her from falling. Her beautiful face was pale, and she kept blinking like she couldn't see straight. "Please," Lisa said, stepping forward. "I'm a doctor. Let me check what's wrong." "No!" Kesserin pointed his weapon at her. "You will not touch her again. You have done enough damage." Dr. Ryan Clark moved next to Lisa. "I'm a medical doctor. Whatever is wrong, we can help fix it." The ambassador tried to speak, but her words came out wrong. I feel like I'm floating. Everything is spinning. Make it stop," Amy Foster whispered to Jake. "Captain, I made that punch myself. I just used fruit and water. Nothing else. Jake nodded. He spoke to the Zephyrian guards. We need to work together to help her. Fighting won't make your ambassador better. Kesserin looked at his ambassador. She was getting sicker. Her legs shook, and she made soft, crying sounds. Finally, he lowered his weapon a little. You may look at her, but do not touch. If you try anything, we will shoot. Lisa walked slowly to the ambassador. She watched how the alien moved. Her steps were wobbly like a baby learning to walk. Her eyes moved back and forth like she was dizzy. Her face was red instead of her normal pale blue. Ambassador, can you hear me clearly? Lisa asked. Yes. No. Maybe, Veltara said. Then she laughed, for no reason. Why am I laughing? I don't feel happy. Lisa had seen these signs before, but not in aliens. She turned to Ryan. Can I talk to you privately? No private talks, Kesserin said. Say what you need to say here. Lisa looked at the angry guards, then at Jake. Captain, I think I know what's wrong, but you won't believe it. Tell us, Jake said. I think the ambassador is drunk. Everyone stared at Lisa. The Zephyrians looked confused. Amy shook her head. That's impossible. There was no alcohol in the... Punch! Are you sure? Lisa asked. Amy thought hard. I used fresh fruit juice, water, and... Oh no. Her face went white. I used fruit that was a few days old. It was getting soft, but it still tasted good. Ryan understood first. The fruit started to ferment. It made natural alcohol. What is this alcohol? Kesserin demanded. Lisa tried to explain. It's a chemical that forms when fruit gets old. Humans drink it sometimes, but it makes us act funny for a while. You poison yourselves on purpose? One of the guards asked. It's not poison to us, Lisa said, but maybe your people are more sensitive to it. The ambassador giggled again, then looked sad. I want to go home. Why can't I walk like normal? Kesserin spoke into a small device. Medical team to the docking bay. Bring the isolation chamber. More Zephyrians came through the door. They carried a clear box that looked like a hospital bed. They put the ambassador inside and sealed it shut. We are taking her back to our ship, Kesserin said. If she dies, there will be war between our peoples. Wait, Jake said. Let our doctor help. We know about this problem. Your doctor caused this problem, Kesserin shouted. No, it was an accident, Lisa said. Alcohol affects different species, in different ways. We didn't know it would hurt your ambassador. The Zephyrians carried their ambassador toward the door. She pressed her hands against the glass of her container. Help me, she said to Lisa. I feel so strange. We will help, Lisa promised. I'll figure out how to make you better. After the aliens left, the humans sat in the empty dining room. The beautiful food was still on the tables, but no one wanted to eat. This is a disaster, Amy said. She put her head in her hands. I ruined everything. It's not your fault, Jake said. How could we know they would react to alcohol like that? Lisa was already working on her computer. I need to find out everything about Zephyrian biology. Maybe their medical records will help. Ryan joined her. I've never seen alcohol affect anyone that badly. Even humans who don't drink much don't get that sick from a little fruit punch. Different species, different biology, Lisa said. Remember, when we first met the dog-like aliens from Canopus, chocolate almost killed them. Things that are safe for us can be deadly for others. Jake got a message on his communicator. He read it and looked worried. The Zephyrian ship is calling. They want to talk. On the big screen, Kesserin appeared. Behind him, Lisa could see the ambassador in her isolation chamber. She was lying down now, but still moving strangely. Humans, Kesserin said. Our doctors cannot help the ambassador. She is getting worse. Her balance is completely gone. In our culture, balance is everything. Without it, she is broken. What do you mean? Lisa asked. For Zephyrians, grace and balance are not just physical. They are spiritual. They show that we are in harmony with the universe. Your poison has destroyed her harmony. Lisa felt sick. She hadn't just made the ambassador drunk. She had destroyed something sacred to their culture. How long does this alcohol poison last? Kesserin asked. For humans, a few hours, Ryan said. But we don't know about Zephyrians. A few hours? Kesserin looked shocked. You regularly poison yourselves for hours? Amy tried to explain. Some humans like how alcohol makes them feel. It's relaxing. You enjoy losing your balance? Another guard asked. You enjoy being unable to walk straight? Well, when you put it like that, Jake said. Kesserin shook his head. We do not understand humans. You poison yourselves for fun. You destroy your own harmony. Are you all insane? We're not insane, Lisa said. We're just different. Please let us help your ambassador. We know how alcohol works. No, Kesserin said. You have done enough. We are sending a message to our empire. They will decide if this was an accident or an attack. The screen went dark. Lisa looked at her. Friends. We need to fix this or there really will be a war. How? Amy asked. They won't let us near their ambassador. I don't know yet, Lisa said, but I'll think of something. I have to. 2 hours later, Dr. Kate Wilson arrived on the space station. She was Earth's best expert on alien cultures. Jake had called her as soon as the crisis started. Tell me everything, Kate said as she walked into the meeting room. She was a small woman with gray hair and kind eyes. Lisa explained what happened with the fruit punch and the ambassador. Kate listened carefully, taking notes on her tablet. This is worse than I thought, Kate said when Lisa finished. For Zephyrians, physical grace isn't just important. It's who they are. What do you mean? Jake asked. Kate pulled up pictures of the Zephyrian homeworld on the big screen. Look at their cities. Everything flows like water. Their buildings curve and bend. Nothing is straight or sharp. The pictures showed amazing crystal towers that twisted up into the sky. Roads curved in gentle spirals. Even their gardens looked like they were dancing. Their whole society is based on harmony and balance, Kate continued. They believe that perfect movement shows a perfect soul. When someone loses their balance, they think their soul is damaged. Amy looked sick. So when the ambassador couldn't walk straight, she thought her soul was broken. Kate finished. And her people think we broke it on purpose. Ryan shook his head. But it's just alcohol. It wears off. She'll be fine in a few hours. Try explaining that to them, Kate said. They've never seen anything like this before. In their minds, we used some terrible weapon that destroys souls. The communication screen lit up. Ambassador Veltara appeared, but she looked different now. She was sitting in a chair because she still couldn't stand up straight. Her beautiful silver eyes were red like she'd been crying. Dr. Morgan, she said slowly, I need to understand what you did to me. Ambassador, how are you feeling? Lisa asked. Broken, Veltara said. I have been graceful my whole life. I trained for 50 years to move perfectly. Now I stumble like a newborn child. My people are ashamed of me. Lisa's heart hurt to hear this. Ambassador, this is temporary. You will get better. Will I? Veltara asked. Your poison changed. Something inside me. I feel different. Sometimes I want to laugh for no reason. Sometimes I feel sad. Sometimes I feel brave enough to say things I would never say. Kate stepped forward. Ambassador, may I ask you something about your culture? Who are you? I study different cultures. I want to understand your people better. Veltara nodded, slowly. Ask your questions. Have your people ever had any drinks that change how they feel or think? No, Veltara said quickly. Why would anyone want that? To think clearly and move gracefully is the highest goal of life. What about medicine that makes you sleepy or takes away pain? Veltara looked confused. We have healing crystals that help pain, but they don't change how we think. They don't make us lose our balance. Kate looked at the others. They've never had any experience with substances that affect the mind. Alcohol is completely foreign to them. On the screen, Veltara tried to stand up. She made it halfway before sitting back down. I hate this feeling. Everything spins. My thoughts are fuzzy. How do humans live like this? We don't, Lisa said. Most humans don't drink alcohol very often, and when we do, we know it will wear off. You do this to yourselves on purpose? Veltara asked. You choose to lose your balance? Amy tried to explain. Some people think it's fun. It makes them feel relaxed and happy. But you can't walk straight. That's part of it, Ryan said. We call it being drunk. It's like taking a break from being serious. Veltara stared at them. You poison yourselves to take a break from being serious? When she said it like that, it did sound pretty stupid. It's hard to explain, Jake said. Humans are different from Zephyrians. What hurts you might not hurt us. The ambassador looked even more confused. Show me, she said. What? Lisa asked. Show me a human drinking this alcohol poison. I want to see what happens. The humans looked at each other. Kate shook her head. That might make things worse. Why? Veltara asked. Because if we show you how alcohol affects us, and you see that we handle it better than you do... Kate paused. You think we are weak, Veltara finished. No, Lisa said quickly. We think you're different. Every species is different. But Veltara wasn't listening anymore. Her face had gone from pale blue to darker blue. You gave me something that barely affects you but destroys me. You made me weak in front of my people. That's not what we meant to do, Jake said. Perhaps, Veltara said, but that's what happened. Now my people think humans are either very dangerous or very stupid. Maybe both. The screen went dark again. Kate sat down heavily. This is getting worse. She feels humiliated. What do we do? Amy asked. Before Kate could answer, alarms started ringing. Red lights flashed all over the station. Captain Sullivan, to the command center, a voice said over the speakers. Emergency message from Earth. They all ran to the command center. On the main screen was Admiral Patricia Stone from Earth Defense. Jake, she said, we've got a problem. The Zephyrian Empire just sent a message to Earth. They're calling what happened an attack on their ambassador. It was an accident, Jake said. I know that. You know that. But they don't believe it. They want proof that humans aren't trying to hurt them. What kind of proof? Lisa asked. The Admiral looked grim. They want to know why humans have poison that affects minds, They want to know if we're planning to use it as a weapon. Kate stepped forward. Admiral, this is a cultural misunderstanding. The Zephyrians have never experienced anything like alcohol. To them, it's unthinkable. Can you fix it? Maybe, Kate said. But we need time, and we need the ambassador to trust us again. You don't have much time, the Admiral said. The Zephyrian military is already moving ships toward our border. If we can't prove this was an accident, we might have a war on our hands. After the Admiral signed off, the team sat in silence. A war over fruit punch, Amy said quietly. This is the worst first contact in history. It's not over yet, Lisa said. The ambassador is still talking to us. That means she wants to understand. Or she's gathering information for her military, Ryan pointed out. Kate looked thoughtful. Maybe we're approaching this wrong. What do you mean? Jake asked. We keep trying to explain that alcohol doesn't hurt humans. But maybe we should focus on why humans develop the ability to handle it. I don't follow, Lisa said. Kate smiled for the first time all day. What if alcohol tolerance isn't a weakness? What if it's a strength? Chief Engineer Ben Parker had been working in the station's computer room when the crisis started. Now he came running with his tablet in his hands. Dr. Morgan, he called. I found something important. Lisa looked up from her research. What is it, Ben? I was checking the galactic news feeds, and there's something big happening. Ben put his tablet on the table. There's a plague spreading through 3 star systems, Jake frowned. What kind of plague? It's called the wandering sickness, Ben said. It makes people lose their balance and coordination. Ships are crashing because pilots can't fly straight. Whole planets are asking for help. Kate looked at the news reports. This sounds familiar. That's what I thought too, Ben said. Look at these symptoms. Dizziness, loss of balance, confusion, trouble walking straight. Ryan read over his shoulder. This sounds exactly like what happened to the ambassador. But this is a disease, Lisa said. The ambassador just had 2. Much alcohol. Ben nodded. That's what made me think. What if this plague affects people the same way alcohol affects the ambassador? Lisa stared at him. You mean, what if humans are naturally resistant to this plague because we can handle alcohol? The room went quiet. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Kate spoke first. That's brilliant. If the plague affects alien brains the same way alcohol affects the ambassador, then humans might be the only species that can work around it. We need to contact Earth immediately, Jake said. An hour later, they were talking to the best doctors and scientists on Earth. Dr. Patricia Reeves, the head of the Galactic Health Organization, appeared on screen. This is incredible, Dr. Reeves said. We've been getting requests for help from a dozen different species. None of their doctors can work in the plague zones because they get sick too. Have any humans been exposed to the plague? Lisa asked. A few. They reported feeling slightly dizzy for an hour or two. Then they were fine. Ryan leaned forward. Just like alcohol recovery. Exactly, Dr. Reeves said. It looks like human alcohol tolerance might be the key to fighting this plague. Jake had an idea. What if we could use this to fix our problem with the Zephyrians? How? Kate asked. We show them that what they think is a weakness is actually a strength. Humans can function in conditions that would disable other species. Lisa felt excited for the first time all day. We could offer to help with the plague, show them that human poison tolerance is actually useful. Ben was already working on his tablet. I'm sending a message to the Zephyrian ship, asking for a meeting. 20 minutes later, Ambassador Veltara appeared on screen again. She still looked unsteady, but better than before. "What do you want now?" she asked. Her voice was tired. "Ambassador," Lisa said, "we want to show you something that might change how you think about humans." "I don't want to see any more human poison." "This isn't about poison," Jake said. "This is about helping people." They showed her the news reports about the wandering sickness. Veltara watched carefully as they explained how the plague was spreading. "Many ships have crashed," she said sadly. "Many people have died. Our own doctors cannot work in the plague zones." "But humans can," Lisa said. "The same thing that made you sick barely affects us. We can work where others cannot." Veltara looked confused. "You want to go into the plague zones?" "Yes," Jake said. "We want to help. But first, we need to show you that humans can handle what happened to you today." "What do you mean?" Kate stepped forward. "Ambassador, would you watch a demonstration? We want to show you how alcohol affects humans compared to how it affected you." "You want to poison more humans?" "We want to show you that it's not poison to us," Lisa said. "What hurt you is something we can control and recover from." Veltara was quiet for a long time. Finally, she said, "I will watch, but if this is a trick—" "It's not a trick," Jake promised. "It's science." They set up cameras in the dining room. Jake, Lisa, Ryan, Amy, and Ben all sat around a table. Kate would watch and explain what happened. On screen, Veltara watched from her ship. Behind her, several other Zephyrians had gathered to see what the humans would do. "We're going to drink." "The same fruit punch that made you sick," Lisa explained. "But we'll drink more of it to show you the full effect." Amy had made a new batch of punch, this time making sure it had even more alcohol in it. Each human took a glass. "To friendship between humans and Zephyrians," Jake said. They all drank. Veltara watched closely. At first, nothing happened. The humans talked and laughed normally. After 30 minutes, they started to change. "I feel warm," Amy said, giggling. "Everything seems funnier," Ryan added. Lisa stood up to walk across the room. She was a little unsteady, but she made it without falling. "Interesting," Veltara said. "You are affected, but you can still function." "That's right," Kate explained. "Humans developed this tolerance over thousands of years. Alcohol occurs naturally in many foods on Earth." On screen, Ben was telling jokes that weren't very funny, but everyone was laughing anyway. Jake was trying to give a serious speech but kept losing his train of thought. "They seem happy," one of the Zephyrians observed. "That's another effect," Kate said. "Alcohol often makes humans feel good, even though it affects their balance." For the next hour, the humans demonstrated different levels of alcohol effects. They showed that they could still think, still solve problems, still take care of each other, even when they couldn't walk perfectly straight. "This is remarkable," Veltara said. "When I drank your punch, I could not function at all, but you can work even while affected." "Different species, different abilities," Lisa said. Her words were a little slurred, but she was still able to explain things clearly. "Show me more," Veltara said. Ryan brought out some puzzles and math problems. Even while drunk, the humans could solve most of them. They were slower and made more mistakes, but they didn't give up. "On my world," Veltara said quietly, "if someone lost their balance like this, they would have to stop all work until they recovered. They could not be trusted with important tasks." "But we're still working," Amy pointed out. "We're just working differently." As the hours passed, the humans slowly returned to normal. They drank water, ate food, and rested. By the end of the demonstration, they were back to their usual selves. "You recovered," Veltara said, wonder in her voice. "We always recover," Jake said. That's how human biology works. And you could do this in the plague zones? Yes, Lisa said. We could work where others cannot. We could help people who are sick. Veltara was quiet for a long time. Then she said something that surprised everyone. I want to come with you. What? Kate asked. To the plague zones. I want to see humans helping others. I want to understand how you turn weakness into strength. The Zephyrians behind her looked shocked. One of them said, Ambassador, that's too dangerous. No, Veltara said firmly. I need to see this. If humans can help people that we cannot help, then I was wrong about them. Jake smiled. Ambassador, we would be honored to have you join us. 3 days later, the space station Kepler-7 and the Zephyrian ship moved together toward the plague zone. Ambassador Veltara had convinced her people to work with the humans. I still think this is crazy, Kesserin said over the communicator. The ambassador should not go into a plague zone. I need to see this for myself, Veltara replied. She was feeling much better now, back to her graceful self. If humans can really help where we cannot, then we must learn from them. Lisa was in the medical bay preparing supplies. Dr. Clark helped her pack medicines and equipment. They didn't know exactly what they would find in the plague zone. Are you nervous? Ryan asked. A little, Lisa admitted. What if we're wrong? What if humans aren't really immune to this plague? Then we'll figure something else out, Ryan said. That's what humans do. Jake called everyone to the main screen. We're approaching the Kepler-9 system. This is where the plague started. On screen, they could see a space station floating dead in space. No lights were on. No ships were moving around it. Horizon Station, Amy read from her computer. Population of 50,000, all different species. What happened to them? Veltara asked. She was watching from her ship. According to the reports, Ben said, the plague hit 3 weeks ago. Everyone got sick at the same time. Ships crashed into the station. People couldn't walk or work. They had to evacuate everyone who could still move. Kate looked at the readings. There are still people on that station. About 1,000 who couldn't be moved. They're trapped, Lisa said. Too sick to help themselves. And anyone who tries. To help them get sick, too, Jake added. Except humans, Ryan said. They docked with the station carefully. The airlock opened with a warning beep. Red lights flashed everywhere. Biological hazard, a computer voice said. All personnel must wear protection suits. The humans put on their spacesuits, but they weren't the heavy protection suits used for dangerous diseases. They were just normal spacesuits. Are you sure that's enough protection? Veltara asked. We'll find out, Lisa said. The humans entered. The station first. The lights were dim and emergency power was running. They could hear people calling for help in the distance. Hello? Jake called. We're here to help. A weak voice answered from down the hallway. Help us! Please! They followed the voice and found a group of aliens lying on the floor. There were bird-like creatures from the planet Avis, rock-like beings from Stonia, and several others. All of them were moving strangely, unable to stand up straight. It's just like what happened to the ambassador, Amy whispered. Lisa knelt down next to a bird-like alien. Can you hear me? We're here to help. The alien opened one large eye. Help. Can't think straight. Everything's spinning. That's exactly what Veltara said, Ryan observed. Lisa checked her scanner. I'm reading the plague organisms in the air. They should be affecting us by now. But the humans felt fine. They could think clearly and move normally. It's working, Jake said into his communicator. Humans are immune to the plague. Over the next 4 hours, the humans worked to help the sick aliens. They carried people to medical beds, gave them water and food, and made them comfortable. "This is amazing," Veltara said, watching through the cameras. "The humans are working normally in conditions that would make any of us collapse." Lisa found the station's medical bay and started studying the plague. "It's definitely affecting the same part of the brain that alcohol affects, but this is much stronger." "How much stronger?" Kate asked. If Ambassador Veltara's reaction to alcohol was like having a mild headache, this plague is like being hit by a truck. Amy was helping a rock-like alien drink water. "So when we showed the ambassador how we handle alcohol, we were showing her how we could handle a weak version of this plague," Lisa finished. By the end of the day, the humans had helped organize the entire medical bay. They set up systems to get food and water to everyone who needed it. They contacted rescue ships to evacuate the sickest aliens. "I want to see this place," Veltara said suddenly. "Ambassador, it's too dangerous," Kesserin protested. "I need to see," she said firmly. "Bring me a protection suit." An hour later, Veltara came aboard, the station wearing a full environmental suit. Even with all that protection, she immediately started feeling dizzy. "How long can you stay?" Lisa asked. "Not long," Veltara said, holding on to the wall. "Already I feel the effects." Lisa showed her around the medical bay. "See how we organized everything? Humans can work here for hours without getting sick." "Incredible," Veltara said. "You function where others cannot." She watched Jake carrying a heavy alien to a medical bed. He was working hard, but he wasn't stumbling or confused. "When I first drank your fruit punch," Veltara said, "I thought you had destroyed my soul. Now I see that you have given me a gift." "What gift?" Lisa asked. "Understanding. You showed me that what looks like weakness can be strength. What seems like poison can be medicine." They had to help Veltara back to her ship after only 30 minutes. Even with protection, the plague was affecting her. "I have to ask you something," she said before leaving. "How did humans develop this ability?" Kate answered. "On Earth, alcohol is everywhere. It forms naturally in rotting fruit. Our ancestors had to learn to handle it, or they couldn't eat many foods." "So you developed this ability to survive?" "Yes. And now it helps us survive this plague too." Veltara was quiet for a moment. "In Zephyrian culture, we believe that the universe gives every species the tools they need. We thought human alcohol tolerance was a flaw. But maybe it was a gift for times like this." Over the next week, human teams worked in plague zones throughout 3 star systems. They rescued thousands of people and helped contain the disease. Aliens who had been trapped for weeks were finally getting help. The news spread quickly through the galaxy. "Humans immune to wandering sickness," the headlines read. "Earth species saves thousands." Back on Kepler 7, the humans and Zephyrians had another dinner together. This time, Ambassador Veltara asked for some of the fruit punch. "Are you sure?" Lisa asked. "Just a little," Veltara said. "I want to try to understand the human experience." She took a small sip and immediately felt the effects. But this time, instead of being scared, she laughed. "This is very strange," she said as she carefully sat down. "But now I know this feeling means humans are ready to work where others cannot." Jake raised his glass. "To friendship between species, and to learning from each other's strengths." "To humans," Veltara said, "who turn their weaknesses into gifts for the galaxy." Amy looked around the table at humans and aliens sharing a meal together. You know, this isn't how I thought first contact would go. Better or worse? Ryan asked. Amy smiled. Definitely better. We made friends by accident. Dr. Kate Wilson was writing notes for her report. This will change how we think about human biology. Our tolerance for alcohol isn't just a quirky trait. It might be our contribution to galactic civilization. What do you mean? Ben asked. Think about it, Kate said. Every species has something special. Zephyrians have perfect grace. The rock people are incredibly strong. The bird people can fly in any gravity. And humans? Lisa asked. Humans can function when impaired. We can work in conditions that would disable anyone else. We're the galaxy's designated drivers. Everyone laughed at that, even Veltara, though she had to hold on to her chair while she did it. I like that, the ambassador said. Humans are the ones who stay steady when everything else is spinning. 6 months later, Lisa received a message from Ambassador Veltara. The Zephyrian Empire had established a new branch of their medical service, staffed entirely by humans. They were called the Steady Hand Corps, and they specialized in working in dangerous conditions where other species couldn't function. The message included a video of Veltara trying to learn what she called human drunken walking as part of her scientific studies. She fell down a lot, but she kept trying. Dr. Morgan, she said in the video, I have learned that sometimes the most important discoveries come from the most embarrassing mistakes. Thank you for teaching me that humans are not flawed Zephyrians. You are perfectly designed humans, with gifts we never could have imagined. Lisa smiled as she watched her alien friend stumble around in the name of science. It had been the strangest, first contact in history, but maybe that made it the perfect introduction to humanity. After all, humans had always been good at turning disasters into opportunities. Now they were doing it on a galactic scale.